In this video, we are breaking down three terms that cause endless confusion: OKRs, KPIs, and CSFs. By the end, you'll know exactly what each one means, how they're different, and then how you can use them together. Whether you just have an individual role within an organization or you lead a massive team, this will be a great way to make sure you're not confusing things. Let's start with CSFs, critical success factors, probably the least known of each of these terms. I'm starting here because these are the must-win areas, effectively the things that if they don't go right, your product will completely fail. Think of these like the foundations. You don't think about them necessarily every single day, but if they're weak, everything falls apart. As an example, let's say you're a fast food delivery service. Well, then being able to deliver fast is probably a critical success factor. You might even have a specific target, like on average, all of our orders are delivered within 30 minutes. If that falls apart, well, no matter how much marketing you do, you won't be able to save the business. Second, let's look at KPIs, key performance indicators. These are your day-to-day health metrics. They show whether or not things are going as expected. The difference between this and a critical success factor is some of them aren't necessarily 100% critical, but they do give you an indication of trends. So they're things you need to be regularly measuring to understand patterns of what's happening, and some of which might be really important, whereas others are wider indicators. Examples might be your monthly active users, your churn rates, perhaps things like your resolution time for bugs or issues, those kinds of indicators. Every business should have KPIs, but if you're not putting things in place to regularly measure them, then you are flying blind. And it might not always show you whether you're winning, but it will at least indicate whether or not you're surviving and allow you to spot those general patterns. Next, OKRs, or objectives and key results. OKRs should be your big, bold goals and key measurables to make sure you're on track to hit them. And that's why they're broken down in this way. The objective is the ambition, that bold idea. And then the key results is your evidence. Are you on track to actually achieve it? Let's say your objective is to become the most trusted fitness app for beginners. That's a pretty bold ambition, right? So your key results need to be about measuring whether or not you're hitting that. That might be things like, well, let's reach 200,000 more users within the next 6 months while maintaining a 4.8 rating or above. That might sound really ambitious, but here's the trick. OKRs are meant to be stretch goals. If you're hitting 100% of your OKRs, then they're not right. They should be about moving directionally towards something, and the key results are helpful indicators on whether or not you're going to achieve it. Here's the important bit. These shouldn't be used in isolation. They are complementary. CSFs are what's critical to success. KPIs are the metrics that track progress, and OKRs are the bold goals to achieve it. I've worked in a number of different product roles across different organizations, and I've often seen problems around this. People use one of these, or maybe they use these interchangeably. For instance, I see a lot of organizations talk about OKRs, but they don't necessarily understand what they're trying to set as objectives. They'll actually be talking really about key performance indicators. Here are the things we want to measure and see as progress over the next quarter or half a year. But OKRs should be bold objectives, and you should be comfortable that you're not going to hit them all. These are about setting an ambition and seeing whether you're moving towards it. On the other hand, critical success factors are often not talked about at all. But these are important. They're critical. This is what's going to make or break your business. You might have brilliant objectives and ambitions, but if you can't get a few key things right, or if they start falling apart, you need to be alerted straight away, because that's what's going to make or break your business. So I think a lot more companies should be thinking about these. They might have a set of KPIs, things that they want to indicate and measure on an ongoing basis, but they should be really specific on what are the foundations, what's critical here that we need to keep 100% an eye on. So here's my key takeaway. Know your CSFs, the must-wins. Track KPIs so you know that you're on the right course, but then set OKRs that really push you towards a bigger ambition. If you found this helpful, I would love it if you could like this video and maybe think about subscribing to the channel. I'm Sam, I work as a product manager day to day, and I am sharing my tips for success. I'm also doing a lot with AI and looking at how that's impacting my job and the role of product managers in general. So if that sounds like the sort of thing you might be interested in, why not subscribe? Also, YouTube's about sharing, right? So I'd love it if you could tell me in the comments below how you've used CSFs, KPIs, or OKRs in your organization. What's something that surprised you or you've had to learn the hard way? I'd love to learn from you too. So let's get the conversation going. With that, I hope you found this useful. I will certainly be measuring those likes.